Alright people, let's do this. Gotta give a huge shout out to my man Arnold for hooking me up with this set right here. He was able to find it for me earlier this week. Actually last week he found it. And just, you know, no matter what happens, every time somebody finds me a figure, I always end up finding it in my area. Same thing happened last night. Seen it, you know, in my Walmart. But huge shout out to my man Arnold for this, man. I've been looking for this set ever since I heard about they were going to release it. This right here is the Crime Syndicate. This is the Walmart exclusive 5-pack. Now, a lot of people are ticked off because these things went up in price. They're now about, what, $74? So close to, you know, almost $80. So that is actually a huge increase from the $50 Green Lantern set that was out not too long ago. But you know, we're collectors and we're gonna get them regardless. So once again, huge shout out. So this right here was the set for me. I mean, I had to get these figures as soon as I heard about them. I'm a huge Crime Syndicate fan, and just the fact that they're really obscured characters. You know, these are complete copies from the Justice League. So everybody you see here is reverse. I mean, that's pretty much all it is. They're just the complete opposite of them. Right off the bat, I noticed this figure. He stood out to me the most, Owlman. Just super impressive, clean paint. He's got the best detail out of all of them. That cape is so nice on him. It's just a different, unique style of a cape. And then you got, of course, Ultraman. You got Johnny Quick. You got Power Ring. That's Hal Jordan right there. And then you got Superwoman. So very cool figures. Definitely really a must get if you're a DC fan, and just to get all those, you know, characters you want. So big thanks once again, man. And also got to give a huge shout out to Slings the Web. He last week was talking about those backdrops and everything that you can get, and they have them at Lowe's. So I went out there and didn't see the ones that he was advertising. Those are the ones I wanted to try to get, but you know, I got something different. This little kind of brick wall right there. You know, it's not as sturdy as the other one, so you got to kind of, I guess, mold it onto something or glue it on there. Otherwise, it'll just come toppling down. But really cool. Slings the Web is always out there, you know, sharing his information, his little secrets here and there. So he's not one of those cats that keeps it to himself. He's always contributing. So big shout out again to Slings the Web. If you haven't subscribed to him, subscribe. All right, so here we go. Got to give a huge shout out to Rafe B. Downing. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's seen in my last video I didn't complete the set yet for the new Marvel Universe wave, and he went out and found, you know, them in his area and shipped them out to me. So we got the Falcon there. We got Scar, which this is actually kind of the variant Scar, because you can see it's got the base Son of Hulk. I think that's really sick right there. They did that. I mean, I don't think there's any difference between the figure and the one that says Scar, but let's look into that. Doctor Strange. It's an awesome figure. Very cool. And then we got the new version of Doctor Doom, which I'm actually liking this one a lot. I like the paint scheme on him, the color. Cool figure. And then my man Joe, he found me another Falcon, and this is the actual variant Scarlet Spider-Man. See, he's upside down in the packaging. And then this one has the Spider-Man base. And then Danny LeBlanc sent me another variant Doctor Strange. Which, by the way, this is actually the coolest variant I've seen in an action figure in quite some time. You know, just the whole paint, the look of this thing is so cool. It's kind of astral plane form. Loving that figure. So, you know, big shout out to the community, man, for you know, coming through. So that's what I've been preaching to you guys. You guys be good to them, and they'll be good right back to you. You know what I'm saying? And something I picked up along the way for myself, you got the Fantastic Four box set. Now, there's a kind of love-hate thing for this set right here. It's nice to have an Invisible Woman, but the fact is that we had to get her in this kind of 3-pack, which I find ridiculous. I don't know why she wasn't a single card figure. And even Mr. Fantastic was never single carded. He came in that 2-pack. Then you got Thing, of course, with shorts now. And, of course, Herbie. So, I want it just for the Invisible Woman. It's just the fact that we had to get her in this 3-pack. But the nice thing is it's not an expensive pack. This thing runs $20 flat, which is a lot cheaper than what they were charging when they first came out with those 3-packs with the Hand Ninja, Hydra Soldier, and Shield Agent. Those things were like 30-something bucks for just 3 of them. But this is a cool set. Nonetheless, it's looks like a lot better Mr. Fantastic than the original one they came out with. So, it's nice to finally be able to complete the team. Now, be on the lookout because the variant will be hitting around, and I think they're going to do like a running chase for all this. So you're going to have this set right here. You have the variant, which has her kind of phasing in and out, and then you'll have the Future Foundation set, and that's going to have a bunch of, I think 2 different versions to it. So be on the lookout for that. Here we got a couple figures that a lot of people on the ACBA page on Facebook, we've been kind of talking about. We got RoboCop from NECA, and then you got the Thundercats Lion-O figure. Now, I actually seen the Tigra figure at the store, and that really did not impress me. Something about the way his ab is, it's just really weird. But these ones are about $20, 16, 18 after tax, and then of course the NECA one, which is about $14.99. But it's the fact that these are throwbacks from when we grew up in the 80s. So I remember RoboCop. You just think of the name RoboCop, it just sounds like an action flick, something that the kids will enjoy. Hell no, that thing was the bloodiest movie. I mean, nobody got off easy. Everybody died violently, which is kind of cool. You gotta love that RoboCop. And then of course Lion-O, everyone's been talking about it because there is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive one which has more of the shading and all that good stuff. But this is still a really nice figure. The packaging is kind of lame. That's why I don't really recommend keeping it in package. So we're gonna bust these guys open and see what we're really. Alright, so let's spotlight real quick Lion-O. You can see here I left the Sword of Omens in his glove just to show you that it does fit in there really nicely, and this is really detailed. Cool sword, by the way. The Sword of Omens long sword came out of the package kind of bent. You can see it just has a little angle. That's just the packaging it comes in. I don't know why they do it like that, but you still see it's a nice sword. His wrist does have that articulation to where he can do the sight beyond sight and all that good stuff. You can see they actually this time painted the hole marks, something that they didn't do with this animated one. See right there, it's all black. I don't know why they did that, but other than that, really cool figure. This thing is really fun to pose. He's got killer articulation. I mean, this is what people ask for, is articulation, and it delivers. What I'm saying? It's got really great just an all-around fun factor. I actually really like the belt. This one is actually way better than the Tigra figure. Now mine has kind of a bobblehead issue where it just wants to go front and back. I can fix that, but it is kind of annoying. But still, nice figure. All around really impressive. I'm kind of liking it. It's just missing, the shading like the exclusive one has. But still, for the price. Oh, this is something that really bothers me, is that they didn't finish painting that blue. I don't know why they left it like that. I don't know. It's Bandai for you. Still, I actually think this is a really good figure to get. So, it actually has interchangeable hands. Alright. I know it might not seem like much, but just to get a figure in this kind of pose, you see with that wrist doing that, you're not going to see that too often. The sword is perfectly straight up. Well, it can be a little more straight, but other than that, just to get him to do that, that's really impressive right there. So, Bandai does bring out the fun factor here and there with the figure. It's just, hit and miss a few times with the company, but this is one where I think they got it right. This figure, of course, is 8 inches tall, but I think a lot of fans are really happy all around with this figure. I actually really like the start of this bio for RoboCop. It's hella funny. In the ruins of old Detroit, a crime-ridden ghetto of the not-too-distant future, a good cop, Alex J. Murphy, is killed in a line of duty. Ghetto. Really, they went with that. I'm loving it. Just a little quick, helpful tip for you guys whenever you're taking this thing out of packaging. Be careful of these back pistons right here for his legs. They can get caught in this little gap right here. I don't know if you can tell too well. See that? There has been reports of these things breaking off on figures. So what I recommend is taking your knife and cutting all across there so you can open it up and get more spacing and get it out. So we have RoboCop out of packaging. Really like this figure. I think this is so super clean. You know, the paint is so nice. Even these pistons right here, when you move his ankles, they actually work. You know, they actually contract and all that. I just think it came out really super clean. A lot of shine went into his armor. You can't really tell, but there's kind of a purplish tint to him. Just a little hint of it. See, he's got all that detail. Look at that. It's Murphy. So really super clean. Now, my problem has always and will always be with NECA that their figures break so easily. Right out of packaging, his leg came off. Now, it's not too big of a deal, you know what I'm saying, just because he's just going to be on display. I did snap it back on, but it's still the fact that their stuff is almost crap in a way, you know, the way they put their figures together. Now look, it's a beautiful figure, nice. I have no really big complaints with it. It's just the fact that their figures break so damn easily. And this figure was actually super, super tight coming out of the packaging. The joints were tight. I actually really like that gun. I think that's clean. And you see how he holds it in his hand perfectly with the finger on the trigger? That's the kind of stuff I like. But like I was saying, it's a gorgeous figure. This thing is super clean. It's got an interchangeable hand, which he has this little stabbing mechanism, but he also uses to hack into computers and all that. And this thing is hella sharp. Like, this is not for kids. You can poke your damn eye out with this thing. That is super sharp. So yeah, just an all-around nice figure. Really dope. You know what would have made this figure just top notch, just to really, say, hey, we're NECA, we may mess up on our joints and all that, but we have some of the best stuff. If they would have actually made his holster out of his leg, I think that would have been super sick. That just would have put this figure over the top. Just been able to do that. That's just something I would like to see. But yeah, it's RoboCop. It doesn't have a lot of articulation, which I think if he did, then it would take away from what RoboCop is, because he was a slow moving, robot man. Not too articulated. It's got just the joints where you need them. Shoulder, elbow, head. Does he have waist? I don't think he has a waist rotation. Can't tell. But yeah, just this all around cool figure. For the price, definitely worth getting. And for my McFarlane collector, so I was able to come across the Maurice Jones-Drew figure. This is actually from Series 2 Elite. This one is a Toys R Us exclusive. You can see in the back, it's actually a really nice set, besides the fact that they did another Aaron Rodgers, they did another Troy Polamalu, another Tony Romo, another Mark Sanchez, dear God. But the fact is, I'm really liking the Anquan Boldin. I know they've done this same Boldin back when he was with the Cardinals. Yeah. And then you got my boy Darren McFadden, Jared Allen, and Maurice Jones-Drew. So those are the four I'm looking for. But it's because you see this one's an exclusive, Toys R Us, and the Boldin is an exclusive for GameStop. Of course, one of my GameStops out here didn't know what the hell McFarlane was, so I about slapped that guy. The problem I have with the McFarlane line is that they've repeated so many of the same players. Saying, I don't know how many Romos we get. Just because he's in that uniform, they can do that later down the line. Another Troy Polamalu. Look, I've got already 3 of those already, and I don't really care to get any more. I don't care if he's in his uniform. It's just that you need to start bringing out some more players. I respect the fact that they gave Maurice Jones-Drew and McFadden, and of course Jared Allen. But he was in the last couple waves. He was in another one. You know, Tony Romo, come on. You know, it's time for McFarland to step his game up. You can see there's the collector level, the White Sanchez, Darren McFadden White, and then the third Romo or jersey. So yeah, I just been kind of thrown off. And then the new wave series, I think 26 is it? What's that one? Yeah, 26. And I also seen 27. You know, there's not too much that I want to get out of those waves. So I'm kind of disappointed with the McFarland NFL line. Alright people, here we go. We finally got some comics. Man, it was been a month already. So I didn't get it, you know, everything that was in my boxes, but I got the things I really needed to read right away. So we got Flashpoint Part 4. Now this one was more of, you know, setting everything up for the final number 5, which by the way, the new JLA title comes out next week. So I think it's just called Justice League number 1. So that'll be part of that 52. But yeah, this one was more of getting everything set up for the final battle, which was still good. But so let's kind of backtrack to what, you know, Flashpoint has been about. Basically, Reverse Flash has just destroyed everything, altered reality. Him and Barry Allen, the Flash, they're the only ones that really kind of know what's going on. And slowly, Barry Allen is starting to lose grip on reality almost. He's starting to lose his memory of why all this has come to be. So there's a chance that everything will be almost permanent and nobody will know. I don't know if Reverse Flash will remember it, but other than that, you have Aquaman, who is having a battle with Wonder Woman because they're both, you know, kings and queens. Aquaman's wife tried to assassinate her, and Wonder Woman killed her. Now wearing her helmet, kind of mocking her and all that. So now they went into that battle and all that's kind of destroyed. And most of Flashpoint is nobody, superheroes aren't, you know, the common thing. They're still unknown, underground, most of them are. But Batman is actually Thomas Wayne, and he is completely brutal. I mean, this guy is just a maniac out there. His whole thing is their origins are the same, except for Bruce and his wife died instead of Thomas Wayne. So you can understand he's a lot older. You know what I'm saying? He didn't grow into all this. You know, he was just kind of put right there. So you can tell his mind is kind of like, you know, kind of warped right now. And basically he had Barry Allen confronted him, you know, told him the story, and he finally believed him. And he's kind of like, if all this changes, will Bruce live and I die? And he's like, well, yeah. He's like, we got to do this. Let's go. And I kind of like that approach. So it's one of those things that has been on point, I think, so far, and I'm actually liking the way it's turning out. And, you know, Thomas Wayne's thing is more like, look, if we can't fix this, then let this world burn. And I thought that was a great saying. So if you can find these, I highly recommend getting them. You know, for all the newcomers that are getting into the DC, this is, I like this. This is something really cool. And then we got the Green Lantern Aftermath. This was actually really nice. You can see the structure of the Green Lantern Corps is starting to collapse big time. The Guardians are really pissed off because Kronos was killed, you know, by a Green Lantern, and they didn't think that can happen, so they're kind of worried and all that. Hal Jordan has been relieved of his Green Lantern duty, sent back to Earth, and just the whole structure is falling apart. Sinestro is now wearing a Green Lantern ring. He can't get the thing off. And at one point, they had him in some kind of room, and the Green Lantern's busted in. They're like having him strapped onto this table, and they're trying to pry the ring off him. And that was from the Guardians. So it was just a really good read. Of course, part 2 is just more of that. So if you can get this, definitely pick this up. I love this cover. You can see that. So nothing's going to be the same with the Green Lantern Corps. Alright guys, once again, thanks for tuning in to Super Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys like what you see. Got a lot of more good stuff coming in this week. Man, it's going to be something really special. But yeah, so if you haven't already done it, please subscribe to the ACBA community page on Facebook. And I'll put all the links to provide everything in there. Slings of Web and all that good stuff. And also, got to give kind of a shout out video to my man Red Hulk 80, who put a very, very informative video up yesterday. You know, this will help you young collectors out there, you know, really get into it, because you guys see all the stuff that we collect, and You know, I know it's kind of intimidating at times because, you know, we are, you know, hardcore collectors, but, you know, this is stuff we've been building up for the longest of time. You know what I'm saying? We've worked really hard to get where we're at, and, you know, you guys will get it too. So don't think that you have to rush in there. Take your time. These figures will still be around. You know, there's always a way to get them. So just take your time. So watch that video. I'll put the link up to it as well. It'll be the first thing on the list. So, all right, you guys, until next time, peace.